Welcome back to Media Week. Well, a busy time with AGM season in the media space. It's also been a busy time in radio lately. More of the news and executive and talent movements in a moment. But first, let's just talk through the ratings results from Survey 7 with our guest host today, James Manning from Media Week. And I guess we should point out that these are the top 5 commercial stations in the major capital cities. So let's start with Sydney.
Yeah, 2GB, look, continues to be the market leader. Alan Jones celebrated 100th consecutive ratings win, so an amazing milestone there for his breakfast. WSFM held on to #1 spot in the FM space, but Kiss FM, Kyle and Jackie O back at #1 in the breakfast spot. So they've been playing keepings off all year, if you like, Jonesy and Amanda and Kyle and Jackie O.
And how are things shaping up in Melbourne as well?
Again, now 3AW holding on to #1 there. Shane Healy losing their general manager this week. He's been at the station on and off, but with the same company since about 1989. So big send-off for Shane this week. Fox FM, #1 FM there. Been going very well for them, but Eddie Maguire holding on as #1 in the FM breakfast space.
Brisbane as well?
Yeah, look, 97.3. It's been #1 all this year for ARN up there, doing very well for them. Nova never far behind, but just can't quite get to #1. But Nova, of course, controlling all the demos under 40.
And in Adelaide, Mix 102.3 is far ahead of the competition.
Yeah, look, it's another ARN good news story, if you like. But they're going to be getting a new drive show there, though, with Husey and Kate going into that market in the drive show. Nova doing very well again in that under 40. And interestingly, 5AA was the only commercial station actually to lift their overall share this survey, albeit by a little tiny bit.
Okay, and moving along, here is Perth.
Perth, yep. Perth, yeah, did very well. Mix over there, back at a clear #1. They were sharing top spot with Nova last survey, so they've just nudged ahead there. Some of the other stations are down a little bit this survey.
Okay, James, let's talk about some of the other news that's out there, and one of which is the Media Eye Awards. Just sort of explain what they're about.
Yeah, look, Media Eye, these are the awards where all the agency people get to vote for the best salespeople all year. So the agency people love this little bit of power they get, and the media agency people love the recognition. So they're the foot soldiers of the media company, if you like, and outdoor companies always do very well, and O Media picked up the big award here, but APN Outdoor also was sort of well regarded. I think they won 4 separate awards.
And Media Eye is part of the executive channel, and there's been a couple of board announcements.
Yeah, it's sort of it's got cross ownership management, but it's actually not within the group. So yeah, it's like Charles Perry Oakton looks after both companies, but they haven't. But Kim Williams has recently joined the board there, so he's back in with a sort of media directorship, if you like. Chris Winterburn, who runs a Media Eye, also on the board there, so it can get a little bit confusing. But so similar managements, but 2 separate businesses.
And a bit of consolidation as well with Pacific Star Network and Morrison Media tying up. So
absolutely, yeah. Morrison Media, Gold Coast-based magazine publisher, $10 million. They've been on the market for a little while. Pacific Star Network, interesting company. It's a listed business. They run SEN, a Melbourne radio station. They previously only had one publishing asset, which was the Inside Football magazine. So they're broadening their revenue base, if you like, and getting some more magazines on board.
And we'll likely see more of this type of consolidation.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, media companies are very, very keen to, not be dependent on one particular market segment for their income in case that sort of falls over or there's real pressure there. So they like to diversify their earnings base.
And Screen Forever, the conference is being held next week. What are the details on that?
Yeah, look, we've had a few things there. Des Monaghan, a former guest on the show, one of the co-founders of Screen Time, is going to get a Lifetime Achievement Award down there. And it's where all the television producers gather every year. They get to hear from the TV networks about what content they're wanting to buy, so they can sort of shape their business models for success.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the TV ratings, and this is for week 45. Let's begin with free to air, and I guess it's no big surprise to see the top 3 really dominated there by the Melbourne Cup.
The Melbourne Cup, yeah. Look, they said about just over 2 million people, but that's the people who get the sort of ratings books, if you like. But I think I joked this week with someone, look, when they eventually work out how to thermal image the whole country at once or something, you'll probably find out there's about 15 million Australians watching that race, because not many people seem to miss it. But for the moment, the official Ausstam data, yeah, just over 2 million people.
And the standards, the Sunday programmes featuring quite well in there as well.
Yeah, look, absolutely. The 60 Minutes, that was the last episode of 60 Minutes this year, so that did very well. And the Big Bang Theory is a fantastic business for 9.
Let's take a look at subscription television for the top 10. And this is an interesting one, James, because we've had the big changes in price packaging for Foxtel coming in. So the $25 basic package and those on, I guess, the previous basic package, being surprised by more channels.
Yeah, that's right. So a lot of those channels moving onto the basic, some of them moving their channel number. So people have had to relearn their, if you're a bit of a jockey with your remote control, you've had to sort of relearn some of those channel numbers. Yeah, but the English Premier League, look, the most watched show of the week, it's about 11:30 on a Saturday night that program comes in. So yeah, it's a real dedicated audience that loves that stuff. And something like The Walking Dead, again, it's started off a very niche audience, but now it's just getting massive audiences right around the world.
And of course, sports factoring quite high in and amongst the top 10.
Yeah, look, absolutely. The cricket we saw on the other screen there, more EPL on the bottom half of the top 10. So it's a big draw sport.
Talking about TV news, Nine launching their Summer of Cricket this week. What was the big hoopla? Yeah,
look, the big deal was Richie Benaud back on the scene, if you like. He's had a few health issues. He had a car accident. He's been recovering from that. He's been fighting skin cancer, so he's been getting treatment for that. But they hope to have him back maybe for the Sydney Test doing some commentary. Massive Summer of Cricket for Nine. Something like 35 days of international cricket. It's a great sell for their advertisers.
At the Foxtel up front, just remembering they really had an emphasis on cricket as well.
Yeah, sure, yeah. But Fox Sports will be sharing with Nine the rights to the World Cup, which runs through February and March. Fox Sports, of course, I think they'll be having a dedicated cricket channel for the length of that. And Nine, of course, focusing on the Australian games.
ABC TV, so announcing major projects for 2015, but this is coming in a week that the government really has confirmed some major budget cuts. So what's the big takeaway there? Yeah, the big takeaway, they're still spending on drama, and they explained this week, look, they lost a lot of rights to a lot of BBC drama, because that goes now to Foxtel's BBC First channel, so they've refocused that money into Australian drama. So they're being able to honour that, stay strong, but there will be some effect, we think, over the next few years. We're expecting maybe as much as 8% of the staff might be cut. That's sort of some of the speculation. And combined cuts between SBS and the ABC of up to $300 million, but that's over a 5-year period. Mm-hmm. Just on a lighter note, I guess, Molly Meldrum, big week for him. None other than the Prince of Wales, Charles, recording a tribute to him. So what's all in store? Yeah, we'll see. Look, ABC TV is doing a 2-part special to Molly. Starts Sunday night. Continues the following week. Prince Charles has got a special tribute to Molly, which will air as part of that. And Foxtel this week had a big event in Melbourne to honour Molly, and there's a big Foxtel special on the Max Music channel running later this month. And they've even given him his own Hollywood Walk of Fame star, if you like. So that's come from... Where? Yeah, well, they presented it to Molly this week. Oh, really? We don't know where it's going to end up, but speculation, Melbourne City Council might rename one of the lanes after Molly, and that star could end up there. Good for him. James Manning, thanks for joining us. Thanks, Nadine. James Manning, publisher and editor of Mediaweek. That's all we have time for this week from the team here. Thanks for your company.